Okay, we're up to Daf Mem Tes Amid Beis Ches Kanimela. We're up to Daf Mem Tes Amid Beis, and today we're going to begin the sugya of bar. Today we're going to begin the sugya of bar. Says the Torah in Perek Chaf Aleph Pasuk Lamed Gimel, V'chiyiftach ish bar. If a man opens an existing bar, or kiyichra ish bar, or he initiates and digs a bar, v'lo yichasenu, he does not cover it up. V'nafal shama shara chamar. And a shara chamar will fall into that, he'll be chayiv on the nezek. So the question exactly is, what is the classic bar of the Torah? When it says bar, what's the classic bar of the Torah? So if you're going to go ahead into Rishus Harabim and dig a bar in Rishus Harabim, everyone would say yechayev, because why would you have to tell me if you open a bar yechayev? Certainly if you dig a bar yechayev. In other words, if I'm opening chayev for an existing bar by making it accessible for damage, certainly by creating it. Ella, what's it teaching me? That al iske kriya ba'aloi, that as a result of digging it, it becomes yours. Because it says Baal Habar Yishalem. In order to be chayev, fellas, the key is you have to be the Baal Habar. You have to be the owner of the bar. Now, if it's Rishus Harabim, it's not your property, correct? So the Torah is Mechadesh al iske kriya ba'aloi, that the act of digging the bar puts it in your rishus, despite the fact that the land is publicly owned land. You digging it le'inyan nezikin puts it in your rishus. That everyone agrees upon. The machloikis exactly of the other bar, that's the subject of machloikis in Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva. The first part of the daf is a bit how should I say, cheshbin, but we'll see. B'ez Hashem, I got a chart, and that's going to explain everything. So again, this is the opening of the sugya of bar. Excuse the pun. Says the Gemara. Hachayfer bar b'shus hayachid. You're going ahead. You're opening up a bar in rishus hayachid. Upischay rishus harabim, and it's open to rishus harabim. So the opening is in rishus harabim, and you began digging in rishus hayachid. Oy rishus harabim upischay rishus hayachid. Or it's you're digging it in rishus harabim, and it's opening to rishus hayachid. Now here's the key. And you were mafka your rishus hayachid. Guys, it's obvious the two extremes are digging in rishus hayachid and rishus harabim and opening rishus harabim, or digging in rishus hayachid and opening rishus hayachid. I can do whatever I want on my rishus. You have no right to be in there. If I dig a bar on my rishus and you trespass and fall in, I'm potter. Here is speaking about where you dug it in rishus harabim, the opening was in rishus hayachid, and you were mafka your rishus. So as a result of being mafka your rishus, you made what? The pesach of the bar accessible to everybody. Now, rishus hayachid or piskul rishus hayachid acher, chayev. In all these cases, you be chayev. The key to all these cases, guys, is where's the opening? Where is the opening? In the first case, the opening is rishus harabim. In the second case, the opening is the rishus hayachid, which has a din of rishus harabim because you were mafka. And the third one, that vis-a-vis the rishus hayachid acher, it's rishus harabim. Says Tosfos, guys. Hachayfe bar rishus hayachid upiskol rishus harabim. Klal the mill. So what's the rule of thumb? Bechol hanach shmaitz in the whole sugya. Bar basa piskol yazlinon. A bar will go after its pesach. Will go after its opening. The nachshev habar kilu hu makom she pesach sham. We'll consider the bar as if it goes after the place that it is. So in the first case, it's pashit, it's open in rishus harabim. In the second case, it's open rishus hayachid, but you were mafki rishus hayachid, so therefore people have a right to be there. It's rishus harabim. Good. So therefore they go after the pesach. Okay. So now I think that's a bit of a good hakdama, and let's see the machlokes. Tan rabbanan. Achayfer bar rishus hayachid upischay rishus harabim chayev. You be chayev. That's the bar of the Torah. When the Torah describes a bar, it means the bar that you're digging in rishus hayachid and it's open to rishus harabim. Divrei Rabbi Yishmael. These are the words of Rabbi Yishmael. These are the words of Rabbi Yishmael. And even though you dug it in rishus hayachid, the open to rishus harabim, it's like you dug it in rishus harabim. Rabbi Kiva Omer, hefka rishusay v'lehifka boyroi zehu bar omer b'Torah. If you dig it in your rishus and you mafki rishus, that's where it's speaking of the Torah. Okay, so It's a little ambiguous what the machlokes is. Let's see the machlokes. Amar Rabba. Bidbar b'shus harabim the kuli amalei pligi. If the whole bar is in b'shus harabim, as I stated in the Hakdama, no one disagrees. The my time, the makra, kiyiftach v'chiyirka. If you go ahead, right, and you open a bar or you dig a bar, ilmal apasicha chayiv al kriya lekolshkein. If you chayiv for opening the bar or digging the bar lekolshkein, in other words, madach an existing bar exists. The simple act of uncovering it makes you the bala bar. Certainly, your creation of the bar in Rishus Harabim would make you the bala bar. That's the chiddush. They comment to this rishus through the act of digging or the act of opening. Like nechleku, where's the machlokes? So the machlokes obviously is according to Rabbi Yishmael, fellas. If you're mafka, your rishus, and you dug there, right? That I'm not mechayev on. Where's the machlokes? Ela bebar b'shusay. Rabbi Kiva Sava bar b'shusay nami chayev. Also yechayev. Dechsiv bala bar de islay bailim. The kam rachmana, and this is you are. It's in your rishus, and you are a mafka it. Anyone who wants is the bal hatakala. Okay, so let's see this chart. Nice big chart, guys, right? You dig a bar in Rishus HaYachid, and it opens to Rishus Harabim. That's considered a bar Rishus Harabim, correct? Because we go after the opening, guys, right? You dug it in Rishus. Now, according to Rabbi, that's not the machlokes. Everyone would agree that you chayev. Where's the machlokes? Is where you dug a bar in Rishus, in your own Rishus, and then you were mafki Rishus, but not the bar. So you retained ownership of the bar, and people are able to come in. So that's considered bar b'shusay. So the first case that everyone holds yechayiv is bar b'shus harabim, because the opening is in b'shus harabim. And the second case is where you dug a bar in your rishus, and you then mafked rishus, but you kept ownership of the bar. According to Rabbi Akiva, you'd be chayiv. According to Rabbi Shmuel, you'd be pata. This is the bar that the Torah is mechayiv, where you dug it in rishus hayachid and opens to rishus harabim. Where you dug it in your own rishus, Rabbi Shmuel says yipata. So Rabbi Kiva is mechayiv me whether the opening is rishus harabim or whether it's in my own rishus and then I'm after my rishus. Rabbi Shmuel would pattern in this case. Elamaizu bar hama b'toira the kamar Rabbi Akiva. Now, according to Rabbi Akiva, guys, take a look. Yechayiv here, yechayiv there. When the Gemara says this is the bar yechayiv on, mashma there must be a bar that what? Right? What does that mean? Zehu bar. What do you mean? This is the bar. This is the bar and this is the bar. When it says this, it's mashma one bar. Correct, guys? So what do you mean? This is the bar. According to the lashon of the Gemara, according to lashon of the Gemara, Rabbi Kiva, according to Rabbi, guys, according to Rabbi, yechayiv here and yechayiv there. So what do you mean zehu? This is the bar. Yechayiv on every bar, according to Rabbi Akiva, according to Rabba. Says the Gemara, no. Zehu bar shepasach ba'akosef tchilat tashlumin. This is the bar that the Torah says tchilat tashlumin. This bar, guys, where you dug it in your rishus. This bar where you dug in your rishus and your mafka your rishus, but not the bar. That's what we're speaking about. That's Rabba. Rabbi Yosef Amar. Rabbi Yosef says. Look at the chart, guys. If you were mafka your bar, you were mafka your rishus, but not the bar, everyone would hold yechayiv. There's no machlokes over there. Even Rabbi Shmuel would hold yechayiv. My timer, balabara marachmana. The bar dislay bailam askinon. So, guys, it says balabar. So, fellas, look, you were mafka your rishus, but you kept ownership of the bar. So, this is a classic bar that you be chayiv. Key pligi, where's the machlokes? It's over here. The bar b'shus harabim. You dug in Rishus HaYachid and it's open to Rishus HaRabim. There's the machlokes. Rabbi Shmuel Savar bar Rishus HaRabim nami chayiv dechsiv ki yiftach ki yichra. In la b'sicha chayiv al kriya lekol shkein. If you chayiv for opening, certainly you chayiv for digging. El shaliski b'sicha v'alis kriya b'aloi. Rabbi Kiva says hanech mitzvach tzrichi. You need to tell me kriya and you need to tell me psicha. Because Rachman ki yiftach just ki yiftach havamina pasechu desagile b'kisui. Pasech that it's enough to cover it up. But if you dug it, maybe if you covered it up, you'd still be chayiv. Because why? Ad the time lay. In other words, if I have an existing bar, and then it's enough to cover it up. But when I dig it, maybe you'd have to fill it in. Kamash malon that what? Ki yichra, it's enough to go ahead and cover it up. Because achmana ki yichra, avamina kriyahu de boy kisui mishum de avid maisa. Al peseach de avid maisa. You didn't make the bar ema kisui namile boy. You don't have to cover it up. Kamash malon. Okay, now, so according to Rabbi, right? According to Rabbi, Rabbi Shmuel says you're both chayiv, right? According to Rabbi, we want to know zehu. According to Rabbi Akiva, according to Rabbi Yosef, since Rabbi Shmuel holds you chayiv in both cases, what's the zehu bar shom v'torah? V'lama zehu bar shom v'torah to come Rabbi Shmuel. Zehu bar shepasach b'akas of tchila nezikin. This is the one that the Torah says the tchila the nezikin. The Torah goes ahead in the nezikin and says bar b'shus harabim, right? It's speaking when the pasuk says it's speaking about a bar that you chayfa mishus your rishus and you were mafka the rishus. That's according to what? According to Rabbi Yosef. According to Rabbi Yosef. Okay, so this is the machlokes, guys. Now the Gemara is going to ask a stira. The Gemara is going to ask the stira, and we're going to use this to answer the stira. Notice I put over here an A, and I put over here a B. Okay, so that's going to focus us on what the machlokes is. Okay, so let me just, I got to move you up. Okay, now you're good. You can still see the chart, guys, right? Great. Okay, now Mesivei. Hachayfa bar b'shus harabim. You dig a bar in b'shus harabim, upaskoy l'b'shus hayachid, and it's opening to b'shus hayachid. And the havamina is that even if you're mafka, you're rishus. So let's go through it. The opening is in rishus hayachid, and you dug in rishus harabim. It's mashma that since the pesach and rishus hayobid, even if I'm mafka my rishus, you potter. Okay, so here, this is the first case, guys. Look, hachayfa bar b'shus harabim, upaskoy l'b'shus hayachid, you potter. So bar b'shus hayachid is potter, right? Right? If you even though you have rishus to dig a tunnel under rishus harabim, nonetheless you'll be potter. If you deal these very different type of water cisterns, we'll discuss it more on the Amid Beis. Because the Pesach is rishus harabim. If someone digs a bar in Rishus HaYachid that's next to Rishus HaRabim, going elu hachayfim leushin. You're making a house. So you want to make your foundation. So you're going as close to Rishus HaRabim as possible. Pata, you'll be pata. Rabbi Yosef Yehuda mechayiv at sheyasa mechitza asara. You have to make a mechitza at sheyachim memakam drisas ragli adam memakam ragli hema arbet fachim. You have to go ahead and distance from where the people walk. Taima de leushin. The reason why you pata is because you did it for a foundation. Now, it's speaking, guys, the second case, you're digging in your rishus, that's next to Rishus HaRabim, correct? And you want to mafker it, so you're telling me over here, you're chayiv. So I have a stira. Look what I marked the yellow. Here it's a bar b'shus hayachid and you're chayiv. Here it's a bar b'shus hayachid and you're potter. How do you answer that stira? Guys, got it? You see the steers in the yellow. This says Rishus HaYachid. This says Rishus HaYachid. Here you potter, here you chayiv. So now let's go ahead and focus. Watch. The two terutzim. The Gemara gives a teretz according to Rabbi. How would Rabbi answer this up? Very good. Rabbi holds that where you potter, that's like Rabbi Yishmael, the potter bar b'shusay. Over here, Rabbi Yishmael is pata bar b'shusay, right? Guys, look, Look where the pointer is. B'shusay, Rabbi Shmuel says pater, you pater. When are you chayiv? When are you when are you chayiv? That's Rabbi Akiva. The bar b'shusay is chayiv. So this is column A. The patur is Rabbi Yishmael, and the chiyuv is Rabbi Akiva. So the patur over here was Rabbi Yishmael, and the chiyuv was Rabbi Akiva. So that's how Rabbah would answer the stira between the brises, right? You're telling me in the Reisha, Rishus HaYachid, you potter from the bar, and Rishus HaYachid, you chayiv in the bar. I'll answer very nicely. According to Rabbah, that the machloikis between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yishmael is bar b'shusay. When you're mafki rishus and you're not mafki bar, the patur over here is Rabbi Yishmael. The chiyuv is Rabbi Akiva. Guys, you got that? I feel bad, Benji. You're not able to watch the chart. It's a very good chart. You got it, guys? You see it? Now, next. According to Rav Ashi, we're going to say the whole thing is Rabbi Yishmael. So very good. The patur will be column A. The patur will be column A. And Rabbi Yishmael, who would say the reason why over here your chayiv is this bar, since you're dealing for the foundation, you should have gone ahead and distanced yourself from the Rishus HaRabim, and you didn't. Since you didn't distance yourself from Rishus HaRabim, even though it's Rishusa, you would be chayiv. So when does Rabbi Yishmael say you potter? That's when it's well into your Rishus. But where it's near the Rishus HaRabim, even Rabbi Yishmael will hold you potter. So according to Rav Ashi in Rabbah, they're both according to Rabbi Yishmael. In the Gemara, the Reish is Rabbi Yishmael, the Sefer is Rabbi Akiva. According to Rav Ashi, the whole thing is Rabbi Yishmael, and the reason why you potter over here, that's his shita, you potter b'shusay, and the reason that says you chayiv over here is because you should have distance. How do you answer up Rabbi Yosef, guys? How do you answer Rabbi Yosef? When you say you potter bar b'shusay yachid, b'shusay rabim, that goes according to everyone, and it's speaking where he was in mafkes b'shus. When does Rabbi Yosef say you chayiv, guys? Listen over here, part B. When are you chayiv? That's when you are mafka your rishus, but you are mafka your bar. Over here, it's speaking where he wasn't mafka his rishus. You know why you potter? You had no right being there. You trespassed. It's my rishus, it's my bar, and you trespassed. As I said in the Akdama, you had no right to be there. Therefore, you potter. And where you chayiv? That's where what? Over here. That's number B. According to Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yosef says, everyone is moida. If you're mafka, your rishus, and not your bar, you'll be chayiv. So therefore, that's the way these will answer the stiris in brises, say according to Rabbah and say according to Rabbi Yosef. Okay, I'm going to read it inside, and we'll refer to it. We'll go back to it. Now, Bishlei Mila Rabbah, very good to Rabbah, Reisha Rabbi Yishmael, the Sefer Rabbi Akiva. Take a look at the chart. The Reisha is Rabbi Yishmael, and the Sefer is Rabbi Akiva. El Rabbi Yosef, like Rabbi Yosef, Bishlei is Sefer Divya Kol. The Sefer goes according to everybody, because Rabbi Yosef says everyone says Yechayev. But Reisha, money. Who's the Reisha that says Yipata? Lo Rabbi Yishmael, lo Rabbi Akiva. Because according to Rabbi Yosef, right, it says Yipata, he would hold Yechayev. Says the Gemara, Amalach Rabbi Yosef, Kuli Divya Koli. It's according to everybody. Reisha Shaloi, and here it is, guys, look at the chart. The Reisha is speaking where you were not Mafki Rishus. Kuli Alma, if you're not Mafki Rishus, the guy didn't have any right to be there. Reisha Shleihifka Lo Rishusoi V'Lo Boiroi. Rav Ashi, Hashta the Ukmi Rabbi Yosef L'Divya Kol L'Rabba Nami L'Tukma Ketanoi. Again, in the first teretz, guys, of Rabbah, the Reisha was Rabbi Yishmael, and the Sefer was Rabbi Akiva. Now according to Rav Ashi, I could say the whole thing's Rabbi Yishmael. Right? Let's go through it now. In the Reisha Rabbi Yishmael, Sefer Nabi Rabbi Yishmael. The time of delusion, and the reason why you potter in the Sefer is because of the delusion. Halav delusion chayiv kigoin the arvach arvuche lushus harabim. He should have gone ahead and distanced himself from the lushus harabim. Okay, I think the chart did the job. Yes, no, maybe it was like perfect. Avi, pedagogically, you got that chart. It was great. I mean, you saw it like in front of you, right?
Did you send that on the chat?
I'll send it out.
Thank you.
I'll send it out. Bez Hashem. Remind me. Mesive, we're going to say kasha. Achayfa bar b'shus hayachid u'paskal b'shus harabim Chayev. Again, go after the Pesach. It's in Rishus Harabim. Rishus HaYachid Asmuchel Rishus Harabim. Pata. Now Bishleim Le Rabba Kula Rabbi Yishmael he. El Rabbi Yosef Bishleim Reisha Rabbi Yishmael El Seifa Money Lo Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Akiva. Amalach B'Chayfa Leushin V'Dirbi Akol. It's speaking Leushin, and everyone will hold your Pata. Tarabana. Chafaru Pasach U'Masal Rabim. You dig a bar. It opens to right, and you dig in Rishus Harabim. Chayiv, you dig in Rishus Harabim. It opens to Rishus Harabim Pata. I'm meaning Pata. Why are you Pata? Because you gave it over to the Rabbim. You're not the Balabar anymore. I wanted to be a good Joe. We know people loyal to Regel. Guys, remember Erevin days? Remember Apasi Berois? We made the mumim around the bar to allow people to go ahead and have a place to drink. And then we had the problem that the bar was Rishus HaYachid and outside the Rishus Harabim. So we made these right? We made these like L shape to make it Radi Rishus HaYachid. So people would do that all the time. They would dig bars. So this guy dug a bar, gave it over to Rabbim. Of course, you pata. However, Chafa bar pasach v'loy masel Rabbim chayev. Again, that's the classic case of bad of bar Rishus Harabim. You had no right to dig it there, and you did. The minig of Nechunya, the digger of bar Sichna Ma'arais, Shayachayfe Paisach. He would go ahead and he would go ahead b'chayfu Paisach u'maisel Rabbim. Ukshashama chachamim v'dava amru kaim zeh halachazu. Halachazu v'suloi aleim after halachazu. He's in the kind of halacha of going get one and giving over to Rishus Harabim. I looked it up, guys. It was Shalmi in Perik Hay in Shkolim halacha Aleph. This person, the Chunya, not only did it boris, he was able to tell from the rocks where the water was. You know, it was a big chachma. He was able to tell from the rocks that where there was water underneath the rock, or from the rock, he was able to go ahead and tell it. So it wasn't that he stam dug a bar. He was like a divining rod. He was able to tell you where the metal was. He was able to figure it out. So it was a big chachma of his. So we get to a little agadata, but very little agadata. She fell into a big bar. Now, the estimated survival time was about 3 hours. So they came to Rabbi Chanina ben Dosa. Shari Shaina, the first hour, Amalahem, he said to the people, Shalom, she's okay. Shniya, the second hour, Amalahem, Shalom, she's okay. Shlishis Amalahem, also. The third hour, he said she came out. Amrullah, when she came out, they said to her, Mi halach, who took you out? Amrulahem, Zachasher v'cholim nizdanali, a ram came to me, v'zakin echad manigoy. So the Isle of Yitzchak came, and Avram was manig, and he took me out. That took me out. So Amrullah, they said to Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Dosa, Navi ata. Amrulahem, loy Navi anachi, loy ben Navi anachi. Elakach amati, davish oisid tzaddik mitzdaraboi. The thing that this tzaddik was mitzdarin, Yikashav al Zaroi, his children, Chas v'shalom, he worked so hard to go ahead and bring about water. The Kaira what she should be what nichshel in the water. So Ravacha Afal Pikain makes but some his son died in thirst of dehydration. Shnemar usvivav nishar. What's the lashon of the pasuk? Let me give it to you before I read it incorrectly. It says. Yabay Elokeinu val yechvesh eish lefonav toichel usvivav nisara ma'oid. Now we darshan. What is this svivav nisara ma'oid? Malami shakadosh baruch hu medagdek im svivav afil k'chut asara. Because Baruch Hu is medagdek with the tzaddikim afil k'chut asara. Okay. From the Chunya Amar Mehacha, pasuk says, "Kel na'aroitz b'soid kedoshim rabba v'noira kol svivav." What is v'noira kol svivav? Amar anyone who's okay. Anyway, he died with some. Look at Taisvis. Davishin it's Staraboy vim Taimar Akati Minale Hames Benoy Bitsama. How do you know that? How do you know that? You see, his children did die in his lifetime. In the water, he died of what? Of dehydration. He didn't die of drowning. So, in other words, he did lose his child, and therefore he lost his child because Hakadosh Baruch Hu medagdim with tzaddikim kuchut asara. Yushalmi. Malach b'demus Reb Nechunya nizdamelo. The Malach doesn't say it was the Isle of Yitzchak, but it was a Malach that looked like Reb Chanina. I looked up the Rishalmi. It says the Malach was like Pinchas ben Yair. Very interesting. Anyway, Chalapachas, guys. Before we continue, a very nice source for this din that Hakadosh Baruch Hu is medagdim b'tzadikim b'chut hasara I'll share with you a good Marmakim is the first pasuk in the Torah. Bereshis bara Elokim es shmayim ves haaretz, right? Freg Rashi, right? Elokim is midas hadin. The world was not created in midas hadin. The world Hashem, so he wanted to create the world in midas hadin, Rashi says, and he saw the world couldn't exist, so he went ahead and created the world barachamim. Stachapella. Kadosh Baruch Hu knows everything. So it's mashma, he wanted to create the world in din, and then he saw the world couldn't exist in din, so he changed his mind, and he was mishtatev din and rachamim, as it says later on, Hashem Elokim. Look about what's pshat. What's pshat? It's a peladik pshat. But Rashi, Hashem knows. Says the Maral beautifully. Hashem didn't change his mind. Hashem created the world in din and rachamim. He knew from the onset that the world would not be able to go ahead and exist with just din. Ella, so why does the word say Bereshis bara Elokim? Says the Maral, the Torah is illustrating what Hashem wants. The Torah is illustrating what Hashem wants. Think about it. What makes more sense in Svara? To function on din or in Rachamim? Rachamim, din means I did this, I get this, tit for tat. Masha Enkain, if you go ahead and say Rachamim, what's Rachamim, guys? It's a matnas chinam, it's a freebie, right? You don't deserve it, Hashem gives it to you. So great, we all want Rachamim, but in Svara, it makes more sense that a person should go ahead and function on Midas Hadin. In other words, not coming on to any gift whatsoever, all your own cheshbon. Says the Maral, so that's what Maral says. I took it, therefore, that's pshat that the Kodesh Baruch Hu is medagdib tzadikim kechut hasara, because tzadikim are functioning on the Midas Hadin. Tzadikim are functioning on the machshava Rebbeinu Shel Kodesh Baruch Hu. Kach olam machshava, says the Gemara, Daf Lamed Aleph in Masechta Menachos, I think it's Lamed Aleph, that Rabbi Akiva went up to Moram, Moshe Rabbeinu went to Moram, he saw that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was making these tagim, making this ksarim around the Oisius. He asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu, like, what's the purpose? And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Yesh ish echad, after Kamadiris, Akiva ben Yosef Shemai, and he's going to go ahead and dash in tilin shalalachas, piles and piles of lachas on each and every kites. So HaKadosh Moshe Rabbeinu said, what? Heraldly, show me. So Moshe, because Baruch told Moshe, turn around. Moshe turns around and he finds himself in Rabbi Akiva's yeshiva, right? It says Moshe was in the back and he didn't understand the blessed thing what was going on. Since they got to one point in the lesson, he said, Rabbeinu, how do you know that? So Rabbi Akiva said, Allah Moshe Misinai. Moshe says, Nishash V'daita. Moshe felt better. You know, he's going to get it. Then Moshe said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you showed me, right? Show me a schar. Show me a schar. So he goes, turn around. Turns around, and he sees that what? He sees the mamish weighing his flesh in the butcher shops of Rome. We all know that Rabbi Akiva, when the Suri Malchus, he had his body gone ahead, and it was combed. His flesh was combed from his body. Moshe Rabbeinu said, "Zu Torah v'zu schayra," and he says, "Shtoik, be quiet. Kach olam machshav l'fanai." What's pshat, fellas? Says the Sefer Tzon Kodshim. Kach olam machshava l'fanai, when I created the world. That's my machshava rishona. Rabbi Akiva is functioning on the midas hadin, and that's kach machshava. That was my original machshava, to create the world in din. I knew it wouldn't exist. I never created it that way. That would be a beautiful explanation of Agamara. That Rabbi China ben this Rabbi Nechunya Sichemar is that such a tzaddik, how could he lose a son? And the answer is that he's functioning on the midas hadin, and we don't understand these things. So therefore, we just look at it. It's a very important side of tzaddik v'raloi v'rasha v'tovloi. It's really the big yisoid, that the fact that it's rafa tzaddik in this world is not necessarily bad. It's a Kadosh Baruch Hu's, if you function on the midas hadin, it's a much higher madrega than midas harachmim. That would be a very nice, first of all, nice marmakom, a very easy marmakom to remember, guys. First Rashi and Bereshis, and the Maral and the Gur Aryeh is the second marmakom, and the Kadosh Baruch Hu mitagim chut asara is a sternism, and you can go ahead, right, and as a raya to that, look at what at Menachos. You could look at Lamed Aleph and Menachos. I think it's a very nice shtickle Torah. Okay, anyway, let's continue. So Amar Rab Chanina, Kol Oim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Vatrinhu. If you think HaKadosh Baruch Hu looks away, if you do an Aveira, you think he's going to look away, you're making a big mistake. You Vatru Chayav, you're being mafka your life and your guf, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is, you cause other people to be chayt and think, oh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu understands. Don't worry, he doesn't. He understands, but you're not getting away with it. Shneimar Hatzur Tamim Pa'aloi. Pashas, I think I'm hearing David Adler talking. Hatzur Tamim Pa'aloi. All the Kadosh Baruch Hu ways are perfect. So the perfect word in din, nothing's happening in this world without a cause and effect. The pasuk says erech apayim. It says a lashon of Rabbi erech apayim. Erech af b'lashon yachid. What is the erech apayim? It says erech apayim with tzaddikim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu what? He waits to pay he waits to pay schar, and he doesn't pay them right away. He pays them in the next world. We'll show him right erech af for that he waits to punish them immediately. These erech af he could punish them immediately, and he doesn't. Look at Taisvis. Erech af l'tzadikim l'shoyim bois pasim mashma l'shoyim la'avidim mina olam haba, and therefore he goes ahead and waits to punish them. Ubechelek mashma l'toiva, that he waits for the Rishaim. It's good that he waits. In the end, when he's not winning tshuva, so he's waiting what? To reward them. He rewards them now, and he's waiting to punish them. And when he waits to punish them, they do tshuva, then it's good. His waiting is good. Okay, we're all familiar with the concept of what that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives the tzaddikim in this world. It's difficult because in the olam the kush they'll be rewarded, and therefore they suffer in this world. Mashenke in the Russia gets rewarded in this world because in the next world he will be punished. Okay, little nice. I got it. Okay, Tarabana. In the sugya of bar, you're going ahead, you're cleaning out stones from your rishus. You can take the stones and varf them into rishus harabim. You shouldn't do that. He was taking and throwing from his rishus into rishus harabim. Came along a chassid, and Amaloi, the chassid told him, Reika, you empty person, you Russia. Why are you throwing from rishus that's not yours? In other words, counterintuitively, he told him the opposite. You thought you're throwing from rishus that's yours into rishus that's not yours. The chassid told him, why are you throwing from rishus that's not yours into rishus that is yours? So therefore, lag like a love. He left. He left. Liyamim nitzrich limcha sadeu. Guess what? You know what? He had to go ahead and sell his field. And now he's walking rishus harabim. And the stones that he went ahead and threw out of his rishus into rishus harabim, he ended up what? Tripping over. He ended up being damaged by them. So Amar, the person who now he understood the words of the chassid. Yafa, he said, very good. Amar lo yoisa chassid. It's not yours. He had to sell it. Rishus harabim that everyone has a right to go to. That everyone has a right to go to. Very interesting Gemara. Says the Mishnah. Guys, we're all good. We have machlokes down. Machlokes, we have a chart. I'll send out the chart. Very important machlokes. Says the Mishnah. Achayfa bar b'shus harabim. Yediga bar b'shus harabim. Classic bar. V'nafal l'saycha sharchamor. Now again, what does the pasuk say? Ki yiftach ishbar v'chi yachrish bar. V'nafal shama sharach hamar. Now we're going to dash in shar v'lei adam, chamar v'lei kelim. So who falls into the bar? A chamar or a shar? You'd be chayev. Echad achayfe bar siach uma'ara. Whether you dafka a bar, guys, a bar is round. It's round. Siach is one that's long, a ditch that's long. Ma'ara is squared with a roof. Charitzin it's squared without a roof. And Ne'itzin is short and it's wide. In other words, it's at the top, it's short, and the top it's wide. Excuse me, like this, guys. It goes like this. I mean, it's wider at the top, and it what's that, concave? It goes like this. It goes like this. So the Gemara is going to make a tzrichus of all of them. They're different shapes, okay? So when it says, don't think it's dafka a bar that's round. It could be square, it can be long, it could be all kinds of wider at the top, square at the thin at the bottom, you'd be chayiv in all of these. Provided, now, ma bar sheyesh ba, imke lama nema bar, ma bar sheyesh ba kedei lahamis asar tefachim, av kol sheyesh ba kedei lahamis asar tefachim. So this brings us back to early in the Masechta, when we were trying to figure out the Torah saying ki yaitza behen. We said that there's two types of bar. There's a bar for Nezikin and there's a bar for Misa. In order to be a bar for Misa, it has to be 10 tefachim. If an animal would die in less than 10 tefachim, you'd be potter. Nezikin, less than even 9, would be chayiv. Okay, so that's the chachamim, kimle lechachamim, that what that. Now, we're going to see a machlokes in the Gemara, what exactly is the chiyuv of bar, according to Rabbi Shmuel. Ma bar b'sheish g'lel lahamis asar tefachim, af kol sheyesh ba kedei lahamis is asar tefachim. Hoye pechusim me asar tefachim, v'nafal l'tayche shara chamar. Let's say it was less than 9, and it fell in a shara chamar of a mesa and died. Potter, as you just said, because it doesn't have 10 tefachim, it's not a bar lemisa. However, the mehusik boy, if they get damaged, then you would be chayav. You'll be chayav. Now, the chiyuv of bar, famous machlokes, Amar Rav, bar shechayv elav Torah, lahavloi v'loi chvatoi. The chiyuv of bar is not the impact of the shar falling down. The chiyuv of bar is that the noxious odor that you go ahead and create, you let loose when you go ahead and dig a bar. So the shar is going to die as a result of the hevloi, the hevel of the bar, the gas of the bar. But not what? Not the chavata. Al maksava chavata karka oilim hu damaska. Guys, in order to be chayiv, you have to be the bala bar. If it gets hit on the bottom of the bar, that's karka oilim. It's not his. So therefore, you'll be put. I thought it'd be grama. No, but it seems that what it's chavata. It's karka oilim. It's not you. Ushmul amar lahavloi b'kolshkein l'kvatoi. Not only chayiv for gas, even chayiv for the chavata. Even chayiv for the smashing. Even chayiv for the smashing. Now, the chavata amatayra, v'loy lahavloi. Maybe only the chavata and not hevel. Hatayra idu alabar v'afilu malei savugin shel tzemer. Right. Let's say, guys, you have a bar that's full of cotton. So when it falls down, can it die as a result of the impact? But nonetheless, it's considered a bar. So why did you die? Because of the gas. So again, Loy Rav, only the gas. Shmuel, even the gas. Okay, that's the machlokes. So my binayu, what's the difference? It could be nayu, the avad goiva b'shus harabim. You make a pillar in b'shus harabim 10 tefachim high. The shark goes up on the top, and now he falls off. According to Rav, you'd be pata, because the shore that's chayiv is for gas. There's no gas. According to Shmuel, you'd be chayiv. L'Rav agoiva le mechayiv, because there's no gas. The Shmuel agoiva nami mechayiv. You'd also be chayiv. So the ikabinayu would be what? Would be a pillar. Let's see Taisvus, the second Taisvus on the page. Ikabinayu, the avad goiva. Achanami avimatz lemema, the nafal derech achayra. It fell backwards. The L'Rav le mechayiv, because since its face is facing upwards, it's exposed to the air, and therefore it could breathe. And you're not by the gas. According to Shmuel, since you fell, the chavata would kill him. You'd be chayiv. The l'rav lemechayiv al derech panav dika hevel inami bibor sherachva yoser alonka. It's wider than its depth. The leka hevel. There's no hevel there. Kidar minon. We'll see in Daf Nun Aleph that in other words, if it's very wide, then I guess the gas would dissipate, right? So therefore, there's other nafkaminas. The Gemara just brought one. Okay. My time at the Rav that Yechayev Hevel, Damakra v'Nafal at Sheipol derech nefila. It has to be derech nefila. What's derech nefila? Head first. Ul'shmul v'Nafal koldu mashmat. Any which way, even on his back. Tanan im kein lama nema bar. What's the reason you said bar? If Yechayev for Sichen bar mars. Ma bar sheyesh b'kedei lahamis asar tefachim, av kol sheyesh b'kedei lahamis asar tefachim. Bishlam the Shmuel, av kol lasuye goiva. It's to include even a height. El Rav, av kol lasuye mai. Says Gemara lasuye charitzin v'nitzin. Says Gemara charitzin v'nitzin v'hed yikatani lo. We learned it openly in the Mishnah. How can you say that it comes to include that? Tani v'adam mefarish. So here's the way you read the Mishnah, fellas. Let's go back to the Mishnah. Hachayfa bar b'shus rabim v'nafal tzaka shar v'chamor chayev. Echad hachayfa bar. Now, which type of bar are we speaking about? We're speaking about a bar lehevlai. Echad hachayfa bar stiach hamara chavitzin and itzin chayev. And what is imkei lam and nemar bar? Ma bar sheis b'galam es asar tfachim af kol sheis bar b'lam asar tfachim. And that what's the explanation of that? The explanation is even more is you learn. It says Tani v'hadim mefarish. You learn it, and then you explain that this is b'chal bar. You learn that you mention these things v'hadim mefarish that you be chayev for not just the bar. You be chayev for these things as well. Right. So in other words, the Tana listed charitzim and itzin. And afterwards it explains why you chayev, because it says all type of chaviras will be chayev. That's called, in other words, the the safer guys. What's imkein lama nema bar? So why bar? Not nothing else. So it says Gemara lasuye that these are the things as well that you be chayev. So again, that machloikas according to Shmuel hevlei af chavata according to Shmuel Rav only chavata. V'hanu kulei diktani in the Mishnah lamali. Why do we need to go ahead and explain bar sichin moiras nitzin chavitzin tzricha? Ditana bar havamina bar ba'oimek asara who this behevla. When it's 10 deep, it has hevel. Mishum dekatin ukricha because it's short and round. Aval siach, but a siach the orech which is long, and I would think it has more airspace then. Ema basara less behevla. I might think that by 10 it doesn't have hevel. Kamashmon it does. Vitana siach havamina siach asar tfachim hu this lehevla mishum dekatin because it's narrow. Aval ma'ara de marva, a cave which is square and roofed. Ema basar less behevla because it's squared, therefore it doesn't have such noxious odors. Vitana ma'ara havamina ma'ara basar hu this behevla. You know why? Mishum de metalala because it's roofed, so therefore whatever odor is there stays inside. Aval charitzin, which is the same as a ma'ara, but it's not roofed. It's not roofed. I would think that maybe there's more air there and there's no hevel. Even basar lesbu havala. Vitana charitzin havamina charitzin asaru dispe hevel. Mishum the lesbu revicha melael femi tatoi. There's no bigger distance. It's it's equidistant guys like this. It goes down like this. Mashenkin then eats him. It goes like this. When the eats in the rach melael femi tatoi. It's wide on the top and on the bottom. Maybe I would think maybe it's no hevel. Ema basara lesbu havala. Kamash Malon, that even in those cases, there will be hevel. Kamash Malon, that even in those cases, there would be hevel. So again, just to reiterate, go back to the chart. Classic bar is according to Rabbi, where everyone else is chayiv, a bar that you dig in your rishus, right, and opens to rishus harabim. Again, rishus harabim, everyone knows that's here. The chiddush is that even though you dug berishus, since it opens to rishus harabim, you're chayiv. Rabbi Yosef disagrees. He says there's machloikis, that there's machloikis. The light Rabbi Akiva you be pata, Rabbi Shmuel you be chayiv. Where's the machloikis according to Rabbah, where you dug a bar in your rishus, and then you're mafki rishus, but you kept ownership of the bar. Like Rabbi Kiva, you chayev because you're the bala bar. Like Rabbi Shmuel, you pata because you dug the rishus. Okay, and then Rabbi Yosef says in that case you be chayev. So machloikas Rabbi Yosef, where the machloikas Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Shmuel is. Like Rabbi Yosef, the machloikas is where you dug in rishus hayachid and dug in rishus harabim. According to Rabbi, the machloikas is where nothing's in rishus harabim, everything's in rishus hayachid, and you within your head you were mafki your rishus. Once you mafki your rishus, now it's open to rishus harabim, right? The people come in. Since Rabbi Kiva said you retain ownerships to the bar, you're the bala bar. Since Rabbi Shmuel says you dealt when you dug it, it was dug by rishus, and now you mafker it, you be pata. You be pata. That's machlokas between the two. We had other ways that we answered up the prices, very geschmack. But what's the chiyuv of bar? Is the chiyuv of bar lehevloi v'loi l'chvatai? That's machlokas Rav and Shmuel. Rav says the chiyuv of bar is hevel. Shmuel says afilu what Afil chavata, you'll be chayiv. So this we're going to deal with bor till the end of the parak, the kindness. So it's good to get down this Yisaidis. I wish everyone a great Shabbos.